Hey everyone, Jangro here. Welcome back to my Craftoria world. In today's video, we're going to resolve a bit of confusion from a previous video where we tried to use an AE2 Annihilation Plane to break amethyst crystals. It turns out there's a little more complexity to this mechanic than I thought. We talked about it a lot in the comments, and today we're going to fix it. A reasonable question might be, why do you need so many amethyst shards? Normally you don't, but in this mod pack, we want as much as we can get. Stick around and I'll explain why. So we'll break down why the Annihilation Plane wasn't behaving as expected and set up a system that maximizes the growth of amethyst crystals by only breaking them at the perfect time. Stick around. Please give me just a few seconds to thank our sponsor, Apex Hosting. If you're looking to host your own Minecraft server, Apex Hosting is a great way to go. Setting up your own server can be a hassle. Dealing with port forwarding and performance issues is no fun. You want to spend your time playing. Apex Hosting takes care of all that with their always-on servers, one-click mod pack installations, and 24/7 support to keep everything running smoothly. You can get your server up and running on your favorite mod pack, like Craftoria, in less than 5 minutes. So if you check them out, please use my link, jangro.com/apex. That supports the channel. Thank you for your support. Okay, let's talk about this Amethyst Annihilation Plane issue. We ran into a few videos ago. Our amethyst clusters were just getting broken as the small buds. The reason for that is the way Annihilation Planes work is that in order for them to break the thing that they are pointed at, like this cobblestone or this sugarcane, it needs to have a place to send it. Now, the reason the sugarcane is pausing is that storage is filling up. It's getting consumed slowly, and we've got drawers over here that have sugarcane in it, and this is where all of our Annihilation Plane activity goes into this storage controller through the storage bus. And if there's no open space in one of these drawers for the things these Annihilation Planes are breaking, it won't break them. It needs to have a place to put them. I don't have an Annihilation Plane right now on this amethyst cluster, but if I put one on here, we do have a space for amethyst to go, so it will break it. So if I put an Annihilation Plane right here, it broke that amethyst, and this increased by 4, I hope. However, as this continues to grow, these small buds are going to get broken immediately. And that's because when you break a small bud on a budding amethyst, it produces nothing. And if the Annihilation Plane doesn't have to store it anywhere, it can break it. So you saw there, it just broke that small bud that it broke before it could grow up big. So our challenge here is that we need to somehow make it so that these small buds don't get broken by the Annihilation Plane. There it goes. There's another one that broke. And they get to grow up into one of these large amethyst clusters to get broken by the Annihilation Plane. To do that, we're going to use Silk Touch. So let's break this and go over to our brand new enchanting table, which, by the way, has some extra stuff in here. Check out the Apothic Enchanting mod to understand what these things are about. I don't want to get into it in this one. This is a whole video topic in itself. And we need to get Silk Touch on one of these Annihilation Planes. So let's just work toward that. Come on, we can do it. There it is, Silk Touch. So there's Silk Touch on our Annihilation Plane. Efficiency 1, that's pretty boring on the Annihilation Plane. If we had Fortune 3 or Fortune 4, that would be more interesting for later. Okay, so now that we have a full cluster here, we'll put this Silk Touch Annihilation Plane down. Aha, it will not break it because it does not have a place to put an amethyst cluster. It only has a place to put amethyst shards. So if we unlock one of these drawers over here to give it a space, let's see if we can do that without getting sugarcane. Unlocked. The drawer is not added. There we go. We got sugarcane. Okay, we need to stop the sugarcane. And let's stop the cobble while we're at it. Now if we take this out, it should break that cluster. There it goes. So now we're getting these clusters stored here. And because it's got Silk Touch, the small bud would break as a small bud, and since it's got no place to store it, it won't break it. And there's the small bud, and this is going to continue to grow up. And only when it becomes a full-size cluster is that going to break. While we're waiting for that, let's lock this drawer. So just so we're sure, we'll wait for this to grow. There it goes. And now we've got 2 clusters. Now clusters are useless to us. We need to place those and break them without Silk Touch. And that's what we're going to do next. Now, over here, I've expanded my back room here, which is kind of our production room, our generation room. I'm going to put a ME interface down here. And this is going to pull those clusters out of the network. This run right here is not connected to the main network. It is just connected to this storage controller that does have those Amethyst clusters in it. We need to pull them out with an export bus. And we configure the export bus for those clusters. And now that's going to start pulling them out. So now they're here in this interface, which we now need to place these with a formation plane. Generally, the way we do that is just put a formation plane down, and it should take everything in here and place it. And why isn't it? Because amethyst clusters are weird. We put stone in here, it's going to place that stone no problem. There's one problem, it's not powered. We need to give this some power. And now it's got power, it's going to place that block, but it did not place a cluster. Let's break that so we can see that I was not wrong about that. So we've got amethyst clusters in here. It needs a surface facing, the formation plane needs to be facing a surface. So if we put a block here, it will put the amethyst cluster on the side of that block. If this was up in the air, face down, that would have worked. Now we need to, we'll just leave that here. Now we need to break this cluster, and we'll do that with a regular annihilation plane right here on top of it. And we don't want this to be connected into this subnetwork here. We want this to go out into the main network, which is connected to our storage bus. So we'll run smart cable up over the top, far enough away so it doesn't connect to the interface, because we don't want this interface to be connected to our this main network, which isn't even the main network. It's a subnetwork that is only the storage drawers. There we go. So that broke it. Now it's breaking the amethyst, and we're out of them now. So they're growing. They'll continue to grow. And as it breaks them, it will break it in there and come out here and give us some more. There's 4 more that just appeared. And there you go. There is unlimited, infinite amethyst. The reason that's important in this pack, I mentioned this in the intro, amethyst is useful for theurgy. And the reason is, we look at the uses of amethyst. We should come over here. We can see that we can turn amethyst shards into amethyst alchemical sulfur, and it is a rare gem. That's important because rare gems can be used. We can use rare gems with the fermentation process to turn these into rare gem niters. And these rare gem niters can be transformed, or reformed, I should say, into other rare gems directly. So we can take one amethyst and turn it into any of these other rare items. Fluix, prismarine. We can also take 16 of those and turn them into a rare mob drop. So through the digestion process and transformation process, digestion is transmutation. These amethysts are very valuable for transforming them into other types of items. We're going to cover that in another video or two as we continue on theurgy. Trust me, having a lot of amethyst is going to be very, very valuable. Okay, there's something else we can do with this system right here, which is to break other kinds of blocks. So this is really a very useful setup, the formation annihilation plane combination in a subnetwork. And if we put an export bus on here like this, and connect it to our main network. This is going to our main storage up here. Let's run it through this back wall right here. We don't want it to connect to any of that other stuff. And now this export bus is coming from the primary network storage. And we can use that to process ores out of there. Like, let's see if we have some iron ore kicking around in the system. I'm not sure if we do. I know we have nether quartz. Now this is going to place and break our nether quartz only if we have a place to store it in our storage drawers over here. So if we open up a storage drawer by unlocking one, we should get nether quartz. There it is. Block that again. So now we've got all of that quartz breaking as nether quartz. Now I want to stop that because we want to get an annihilation plane that has fortune 3 on it, which could take some work. But once we do, that is a great way to process ores very quickly. All right, we've solved the mystery of the annihilation plane and the amethyst. We also built an annihilation formation plane ore processor to handle the second step of the amethyst. And this gives us some other really fast ore processing as well. Pretty cool. Next time, we're going to get back into Theurgy, I think. Until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you.